Hi Sag, this is me, Jenny from Cosmic Hearts Healing. I was doing the recordings on my phone and my phone is out of space, so don't mind my pajama shirt and my hair. It's kind of a mess right now, but I didn't expect to be on the video. But anyway, just to explain the way that I like to do card readings is I like to base them off of self. How to break down karmic energy within ourselves and from around us. I think once we start to look within ourselves and see how we create the karma or the lower energy we have within ourselves and how to alchemize that into more positive energy, every time that we do that, little bit by little bit, we gain more love, joy, and peace in our lives, okay? So for week 1 of June, the card that you got is the Judgment card. You can tell in this card what it's saying to me is that either someone's going to be placing judgment on you or you are going to be placing judgment on another person. This man up here in the background's playing music, and you would think music's very loving, and the moon is like kind of dark and hidden. And this man's like emerging out of the ground, out of nowhere. So I almost feel like this Judgment card is almost going to be like a shock to you. It's almost coming out of nowhere. And if you're seeing this early enough, this is a warning, because I asked to clarify this card and I got the warning card that this is upcoming. So this is either going to be energy that you're feeling within yourself or energy that someone else is going to be bringing you. The next cards to clarify the Judgment card or to move on is this is the King of Swords. Okay, so the next 3 cards are all bow cards, which in regular tarot cards are swords. So a lot of communication. The King of Swords is he knows what he's going to say. He's very clear, decisive, cutting if he's like reversed. So if you're in Judgment, it might be King of Swords reversed coming at you. This card also states that there's 2 ways that you could handle this, and you need to decide which way is the right way. I asked to clarify the King of Swords, and I got environment. So this is something going on around you in your environment. And power, almost like a control, or someone's trying to control you, or you're trying to control another, and that's what's creating this to take place. Okay. So the next one is the Judgment card, or I'm sorry, the next card is the 7 of Bows. This just means unsure, not being clear, not having proper direction, not knowing maybe what to say or how to react, how to respond. And I asked to clarify that card and I got relaxation. So maybe once the judgment's over, maybe once the words are said, you're kind of confused about what to do next, just relax, work through it. So I'm kind of doing your card reading opposite than how I do the other ones. So because I wanted to read my cards that I make as a group. This is a card deck I actually want to make. I just bought a blank card and wrote the names on them. I am talking to a lady currently, so I might be actually getting my deck made, so that's exciting. But I asked about the Judgment in the first 3 cards. So with the communication and with the Judgment, what they're saying that it might be about is time and lack of patience. So a lot of times, like if we want something done or if we want to achieve a goal at a certain time, say if you have a work project that you want done and it's not being done in time, that might make us make judgment on another person without even knowing the whole story. So a lot of times when we are in that judgment mode, if it's happening, if like we're giving judgment, it's good to be the observer, this guy, and see the understanding that we don't know about this judgment. Like, see the whole picture. And that's what usually Sagittarius are known for. My sign, we are detailed. We are seeing like the here and the now. But Sagittarius are usually good for seeing the whole picture. So I don't know if the other person isn't seeing the whole picture, or I don't know if someone's putting this time restraint on you, or if you're doing this to another person. Okay. And then the other card that I got for that is projecting, which totally makes sense. Okay. Like, you can project in many ways. Like, if this time is causing like time restraints and you're feeling pressure and you want to judge and you want to project that before seeing the whole thing. Okay. And then another way that we can place judgment is by labels. All right. I don't know if this is work related or not, but since it's talking about a time crunch, you know, let's just say like a person at Jewel needed the shelf stocked. So the stocker guy is supposed to do it, and they need these stocked by like a certain day to do inventory, but then the stocker guy isn't getting it done in time. Well, by just labeling him that that's his job, you automatically are going to judge him and put that and project that time crunch onto him, when really there's probably other people who could help with this. Okay. Maybe seeing the whole picture and a clearer understanding of it all. One other way is that I like to explain labels when it comes to relationships is like, if you have like a grandma, mom, dad, brother, you have certain expectations. Like, let's just say a mom's supposed to do X, Y, and Z for me, when really you're setting like an expectation just because of the label that that person carries for you. Okay. Like, when I go to work, you would think a lawyer would like dress a certain way or act a certain way. Or when I was a child, if I was to think of a lawyer, I would project that label onto him as being like a classy business guy who like goes to court, which all that is true with all the guys that I work with, but they're also like down to earth family guys, you know. So I don't know. So really, if this judgment is coming from within yourself, really try to look at the whole picture. Have patience. Try to think of the bigger picture and other ways to handle it, rather than using it with our words. The King of Swords, very direct and choppy and like, okay, if he's not in like a positive King of Swords. All right. And then for week 1, the clarification that I got was all that glitters. This card just states like, sometimes we think we need that job, or we think we need that friendship, or we think we need something to obtain like this sense of like, maybe the sense of having it done and over, completed, finished, you know, when really that's, you can find that feeling of security before that arrives. So let's just say I want that job. I am a healer and I want to, I've been like, I started healing here and I've worked my way up and I have so many other projects I want to do. And in that time frame, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to be here and now. I'm not going to put pressure on myself or on other people, you know, because once I get, like I'm here, once I get here, I'm going to want more anyway. So it's like you can always be striving for more and more and more. And that time restraint that you put on you and that like stress that you put on you could be projecting outwardly. Okay. And the next card that went under projection was a deep knowing. So if someone else is doing this to you, the sign is just a deep knowing that so if you were the one who's supposed to be doing the stocking, and say you were stuck in the shelves at Jewel, and then you got pulled away because a kid fell and you had to take care of the spill, and then, you know, overcomes your boss and he's just like rampaging, judging you, you know, and just don't fall into the same energy that he's giving you. Of course, stand up to yourself, for yourself, and explain it, but just have that deep knowing that he's like, doesn't mean to judge you like you're a slow worker. He's just under those time strains and he's projecting his like time strains at you. Okay. And I feel like for week 3 with the label one, I feel like this card is saying why. Like, why is this always happening to me? Why is this going on in my life? Why do I keep creating this in my life? Like, if I don't like the energy of, like, I have goals, and then I meet that goal, and I have more goals, and I meet that goal, and, like, but having that goal from A to B is causing so much stress. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? I just want to read a little bit out of the book for this one. I was going to do the relationship one, even though I'm actually talking a lot about work, but it says we don't always know why we engage in relationships in the way that we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to reorganize whether you are being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues in the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Or why did I say that? And spend some time in introspection, the answers may be shocking. Listen to the messages that you are getting from your gut, from that deep knowing within you. What does it tell you about yourself? And what does it tell you about others? In the end, life is all about being loved, miracles, and a deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met. Are the buried treasures of the why? Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today as of why. So I think I chose to read that because regardless of if it's work or if it's a relationship or even it's just a relationship to yourself and it's pressure that you're putting onto yourself, it's really just understanding that what's creating the why, what's creating the projection, what do you think is so glittery that's creating this? These are 3 really low energy cards, okay? So what is all glittery that is creating all this right now? And I'm getting chills like from head to toe right now, okay? And when you're realizing what is creating that, just think of like once you let all this energy go out the window, that's when you feel so much peace and love and joy and contentment within yourself, okay? And the next card just talks about just that. Oh, sorry. It is the 10 of Swords, so it's another Swords card. This is like heavy energy. This is like the realization of all this that we create within ourselves. It's not always easy to dive deep, and when you see patterns within yourself and then you need to let them go, it's self-realization, and then we have to do the hard work, like, you know, in order to break these habits. Maybe have an energy healing done, maybe cut cords to the energy, do a salt bath, just a lot of times just seeing the energy and being aware of it. And if you start to fall into that mindset, trying to pull yourself back, you know, or finding ways to go towards joy and not into these 3 energies here, okay? And you can tell on this card, I'm sorry about the glare, the guy's like falling down the stairs. I don't know if you can see it good. There. The guy's like falling down the stairs, okay? But there's a bird up here. So it's creating the phoenix to rise within him. So like this fire and the passion and the new him is being birthed as he's falling down, okay? So as you're having this realization that someone's doing this to you, or if you're doing it to someone else, or if you're doing it to yourself, that's when the new you is going to be born. And when that is born, it brings you a sense of security and a sense of abundance, because that's how it works, you know? And it's just breaking them down like that. It's amazing. And one way to do that and enjoy that is what my sign does. If you were to look on the astrology chart, Sagittarius, Gemini is here. Okay, you guys, like I explained earlier, see the whole picture. The Gemini tries to be present in the here and now. Okay, so see the past and the future, and she's right here in the now. So let go of the time crunch, let go of the restraints, be more present in the here and now. And by doing that, you're going to bring in more security and abundance into yourself. And the last card that we got was the King of Bones. Okay. And you can tell he's like owning it. He's on he's grounding this energy in. Okay. He has his like spear in the ground. He's on a alligator that like lives in the earth energy. All right. He's like got red, which is the root chakra. He's got a little bit of orange on him, and the crocodile is green, which is a heart chakra, you know. So this is just taking that new energy and grounding it into the earth and living it. A king lives it, okay? And your affirmations for June is, I am worthy of a great life, and I believe in my skills and my abilities. And the last card is called the Good Witch. And I like to read these ones from the book, so gotta flip the page. Alright, this says, hold on one second. Says, it's time to use your words. Speak up for what you want. If someone is saying negative things about you, or you thinking negative thoughts about yourself or about anyone else, don't believe them, and don't sink to the level of lashing out. Instead, speak the goodness of beautiful truth that you want to affirm right now. Use the positive power of your words, thoughts, and intentions to override and replace the meanness, fear, hate, or jealousy of anyone else. The goodness in you is more powerful than the badness in anyone or anything else. Then the spiritual guidance for this card is, you can create your own magic. You have a special gift for weaving love spells of healing. With clear intentions, channeling your emotional energy, and using your words can create joy and happiness in your heart that touches the hearts of those around you. You are a good witch. And when you use your inner power to increase love in the world, your power will continue to increase as we grow in power. We sometimes forget to use it wisely. We may use our power to speak ill of another, to persuade others into negative thinking through gossip, or to allow our own insecurities to make us behave disrespectfully to ourselves or someone else. Misuse of power doesn't feel good for us or anyone else. The universe cannot uplift us into all that we dream of experiencing if we are using our power to pull ourselves and others down. It is better and more fun to use the power of loving and positive purpose as your honor freedom of choice for yourself and others. The good witch is a wise witch. She creates beautiful energy with others who can benefit from it as they choose. Forgive yourself if you've lost your way. If you forgot your true inner power or try to make someone else's choices for them, let them go now and come back to your heart with peace and happiness. It's time to weave your loving magic in the world. All right? So that is perfect. Like, these cards that I pull that blend the whole thing together, it's like amazing. So if you could take a moment to comment, like, and subscribe, then I would really appreciate it. If you're interested in the decks I use, it's Wisdom Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, Love Your Inner Guidance by Alana Fairchild, the Shaman Tarot, and this is a local girl who lives around me. It's called the Dreamer's Deck by Kimberly Marie. I think she can be found on Facebook. Yeah, so if you're interested in any of those, and everyone have a good month of June. If you would like a private reading or healing session, all the information is down below. All right, bye.